Late breaking news, late breaking news. It looks like we got a new pope, ladies and gentlemen. We got a new pope.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk a doubter, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
So it looks like we got a new pope, ladies and gentlemen. According to reliable rags like the Rolling Stone magazine, what a puke magazine that is, by the way. I have frightened reason to despise them. They don't print a single word about MC Tutal, but they were accurate on this. A broken clock could be right at least twice a day. And he's a cardinal from out of Chicago, Robert Francis Prevost. He was announced as Leo the 14th. So Pope Leo the 14th has been announced. He is the first pope out of the United States of America, the second out of the New World, as we call it. And things are going to be sunny and bright. I know a lot of people from the right are very pessimistic about it, being he's from Chicago, a very liberal city. But you got to understand, the churches are a mix of liberal and conservative. The churches are a mixture of liberal and conservative. And so your shot at getting a liberal pope is 50-50. Okay? And as a matter of fact, in a liberal city like New York, the church is more right-leaning. They're not supposed to have political views like that, but it's more right-leaning. Or if you want to measure it by common sense versus woke BS ideology, New York leans more towards common sense in the churches. Outside in the secular world in New York, of course, it's more liberal. Chicago, more liberal than New York, I would dare say, but at least the churches are 50-50 with their political leanings amongst the clergy there. So, we have a shot. There's never a guarantee that the Pope is going to be a decent human being, but we have a better shot at this Pope being on the common sense side of history than you think. It's at least 50-50. So, fingers are crossed. He's an American Pope, so maybe he would not favor foreigners taking over the United States, because it's a normal thing for Americans to love their country if they're a normal human being. So we shall see, man. We shall see. So, we know he's from Chicago. We know he's spent some time in Peru, or do I have to say Peru, because it's a Latino country, or a Latinx country. I don't know anybody except white people that say Latinx. Usually, Latin men call themselves Latino. Latin women call themselves Latina. Or Latin. Or Hispanic. But either or, he spent some time in Peru. He's originally from Chicago. And today, he has been crowned Pope Leo the 14th. Pope Leo the 14th. So, he's got some of his work cut out for him. I would like to see, because there's no denying that there's some degree of bad apples. There's a certain amount of bad apples in the church amongst the clergy, that we get somebody who will treat the papacy like a Javier Milei. But we can't really compare the papacy to any presidency, because presidents have to make certain decisions where they have to keep a certain balance, that a lot of compromise in being a world leader versus being a religious leader. Or I should say, a lot of compromise in being a head of state versus being a religious figure. If you're a religious figure, you take your interpretation of the scripture, and it's cut and dry, and that's it. Go by what the scripture says. But as a head of state, particularly if it's a republic or a democracy, as they like to say, it is. This country is not a democracy, by the way. This is a constitutional republic. But either way, if you're an elected head of state, you have to take your constituents, all your constituents of all walks of life, into consideration. And if you're a religious leader, you have to go according to scripture and work your way towards your followers following that scripture, so that you could sleep better at night. So I was not elected Pope, so the name Pope John the 24th is still on hold. Last Pope to hold the name John was John the 23rd. He was the Pope prior to Pope Paul VI. Then, of course, you had the back-to-back John Pauls, then Benedict, and then Francis. And now Leo the 14th. So, unfortunately, I did not become Pope John the 24th, meaning that name is still up for grabs whenever this Pope decides to step down, or should he unfortunately expire while in the papal throne. But this is good news that we've got some resolve. We have a new Pope. It didn't take that long. It certainly didn't take as long to elect him as the last two popes. So we'll be doing good. We'll be doing pretty good, I think. I do believe, as much as a pope is supposed to be impartial, it's human nature and instinctual nature of a human being to kind of lean towards the interests of the country you come from. And it's been proven. It's been proven. Pope Benedict was all for the best interests of Germany. And was it Pope Francis? He was looking out for what his ideas were for a better Argentina. And he did, an E for effort for trying to get along with Javier Milei, but they're cut from two different cloths, which is not to vilify either of those two gentlemen. But that's neither here nor there. We have our first American Pope from the fighting city of Chicago, okay, where the Legion of Doom come from, right? Where the 85-86 Chicago Bears shuffling crew are from. Jim McMahon, the Fridge, remember them? It's also where the infamous disco demolition took place. And disco still didn't die on the day of the disco demolition. Disco died in the late summer of 1982. You Dropped a Bomb on Me is considered a funk song, not a disco song. But there are songs like Mama Used to Say that are very much a disco song. But we could get into that some other time. This isn't about that. Congratulations to the fighting city of Chicago. Your Cardinal Prevost is now Pope Leo XIV. As Americans, give ourselves a pat on the back. We have our first Pope in the Vatican. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. This concludes this episode of the MC Too Tall Show. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, MC Too Tall. You be good now.